it is time for the Ipsy December extra box. And let me tell you, I have some thoughts. I did my face with this today, and it's kind of weird because all the products in here are face products. There it is. All of these products are face products, which is kind of weird because normally I get a good mixture of eyes, lips, face, all of it. This is all face, and I have thoughts, so let's get into it. Starting off in the order that we applied the products, this is the Tarte Shape Tape Radiant. I absolutely love the original Shape Tape. I do have oily skin, so it does work for me. Obviously, not gonna work for everyone, but I seen they had the Radiant. I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead, add it to the box. This is something I picked for myself. They only gave me one shade option, and the shade is 27B Light Medium Beige. Didn't think too much of it at the time because they have put foundation in my box before from LYS, the stick foundation, and it matches me perfectly. Like, you cannot distinguish between foundation and my skin. It was perfect. So I'm like, okay, they know what they're doing. I'm gonna trust them. Should not have trusted them because this is way too dark. Let's go ahead and play the application footage. Let's jump in with our first product. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Radiant. I have tried the original formula, loved it. Now this shade, I'm kind of questioning. They chose 27B Light Medium Beige. I did pick this product, but this was the only shade option they gave me. So hopefully it somewhat matches. I'm not too sure about this one. Also, I don't know if I'm going to like the Radiant formula because I do have oily skin. Okay. Yeah, definitely questioning this color. Let's go ahead and blend it in and just see. Maybe it'll get better. Okay, it's definitely like my skin tone, and there's no brightening with this. I typically like a little bit lighter of a concealer just so I can have brightness underneath my eyes. This is not giving that. And definitely less coverage than the original Shape Tape. So there is that as well. Definitely not my favorite. Honestly, I think that's even too dark. If you can see that, it kind of looks like it's enhancing my dark circles, and it made my eyelid look kind of dark as well. I'm gonna have to go in with another concealer just to be able to save this look. Yeah, that concealer just was not doing it for me. This is how I like my under eye to look, just a little bit brighter. Yeah, you can even see on my eyelid, this is how it's supposed to look, not like that. So definitely not the right shade for me. And honestly, not impressed with the coverage. Now, I seen they had Ofra on there, and I thought, okay, I haven't tried a whole lot from Ofra, so let's go ahead and add that to the box because there wasn't really a whole lot of options in that category because they give you like sections to choose from. There's like section 1, section 2, section 3. This was like section 2 or 3 or something. And in the section, there wasn't a whole lot of good products. So I'm like, okay, we'll go with the Ofra setting powder. This is in the shade Light. Not only do I look cakey, like cakey and dry, and my skin is not dry. I am an oily girl through and through. So for this to make me look dry, there's a problem, and it's yellow. Go ahead and roll the application footage on this. I honestly have not tried a lot from Ofra, so let's go ahead and try this out. This is their Pure Matte Finishing Powder. Now, I did read on the back here, you can use it to set your foundation as a whole, so that's how we're going to use it, and I have the shade Light. This might be the wrong shade for this as well, because it looks kind of yellow. And I'm kind of disappointed because I picked this too. So for me, I always use a powder puff, so that is how we are using this. Ooh, we're not gonna start under the eyes, I can tell you that right now, because I'm kind of questioning this color. And that scares me. So let's just... Oh, that is so yellow. So yellow. Oh, well, let's just go ahead and see what it does underneath the eyes. Maybe that'll add a little more brightness. So far, I don't like this box. Now we'll go ahead and do the next two together. So Ipsy picked both of these. Now I was kind of excited to see that they picked these for me because I do want to do some traveling this year, and a cheek palette and a brush set, in theory, is a great idea to have for traveling. So these brushes are from Farrah. We have the Shade and Blend, which is for your eyeshadow, and then a blush and highlight. Perfect. Blush, bronzer, highlighter, eyeshadow. Now these I am actually happy with. I am glad they picked them for me. The color is really cute. They're really soft. These are nice quality brushes. Again, I do have some from Farrah. I have tried in the past. So these I'm not mad about. Now, Girlactic is a brand I'm not familiar with, but again, was still excited to see a cheek palette because I need stuff for travel. This would be perfect, in theory. Okay? First problem. I'll just let Past Jasmine show you the rest of the issues with this in the application. Okay, let's hope the next two products are better. Now, these are both picks from Ipsy. Let's hope they did me right this time. So we have the blush and highlight brush, and then the Shade and Blend brush we're going to use with the Girlactic palette. Do you hear that? Yep, that's what I was afraid of. The pans are loose. That's a great start, but this is the shades that we have for the blush, bronzer, and highlighter. And this palette, it's in the shade Blush Me Medium. So let's go ahead, take our big fluffy brush here, and we're gonna dip into the bronzer to start with. Now, I have used Farrah brushes in the past and liked them. Okay, it is blending out, so that is a plus. I have not tried anything from Girlactic, so I have nothing to compare it to, but I do want to do some traveling this coming year. So if this works, this would be a great cheek palette to have for travel. It's small and you have blush, bronzer, and highlighter all in one little palette. So far, I do like the bronzer shade. Is it the easiest to work with? No, but it is pretty. Let's grab the eyeshadow brush, and I am going to dip into the bronzer once again and go ahead and run this through the crease. Like I said, the color is very, very pretty. It's just not the easiest, but I've definitely had worse bronzers and eyeshadows and everything else like that in the past. So I'm not mad at it. It's just not the best. And then I am also going to pinch the brush and just use this on the lower lash line. This brush set I'm also thinking like would be great for travel. Since they are dual-ended, you need less brushes. And honestly, I could probably do all my like powdered steps with these. Blush, bronzer, highlighter, and then eyeshadow. Because I really don't need that many eyeshadow brushes for a simple, easy, everyday kind of look. But let's go ahead and jump in with the blush here. It is a nice like mauve-y pink shade. So if this works out, it'll be a nice like everyday kind of shade. That is really pretty. So far the brushes And this little cheek palette is my favorite. Let's try the highlighter before I speak too soon. Jumping in with the highlight side. This highlighter is questionable. It might be a little dark. It might work out. It's a little darker than I would like, but it's still wearable. Jumping in with the shader side of the eyeshadow brush, we are just going to use this highlight on the inner corner just to give us a little something. Yeah, you can tell in the inner corner, it's just a smidge too dark. That's a shame, because I really do like the blush and the bronzer. The highlighter is not the best. So far, the box, the brush set is the best. That's kind of sad. Let me tell you, this box is making me sassy, that is for sure. Now, a product I really wanted to try from Bare Minerals is their Complexion Rescue Bronzer. I'm going to go ahead, roll the footage of me swatching this, and you'll see why I'm not excited. Obviously, I'm not wearing this on my face today, but I still want to do a first impression and see what the color looks like. But everything today has kind of been off in color. So this is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Bronzer. This is supposed to be a blush and bronzer in one in the shade Kiss of Spice. This is a product I have been dying to try from Bare Minerals. There's not a whole lot I have tried or want to try from them, but this is one of those that I really wanted to try. This is the only color option Ipsy gave me, so I went with it. Hope for the best, okay? So it is a cute little squeezy tube. I love this bronzy pink color of the packaging. Let's go ahead, take the seal off. I'm nervous. I am nervous because this is not the shade I would have picked for myself. I'm just gonna sheer it out. Oh God. Okay, so a little bit of this goes a very long way. We're gonna start with that. 2, this is Shimmer City. And 3, I don't see any blushy tones in the actual shade itself. This looks like just straight up bronzing drops. You're supposed to be able to apply this on your cheeks in place of blush and bronzer. Yeah. Blendable gel cream warms up your complexion with a radiant rosy bronze glow while delivering lasting hydration and diffusing the look of imperfections with a skin smoothing hydro blur complex. I'm not happy. Final thoughts on this box. I'm not happy. My concealer is too dark. The powder looks yellow. The cheek palette, 2 of the pans are loose. The highlighter's too dark. And it was on sale, and they tried saying it's worth more. No. You were selling that for $8 on your website. Moving on from that, the bronzer situation, definitely not a bronzer. Definitely more like the Drunk Elephant DeBronzy drop situation. That's what it's giving. The only thing that was somewhat worth it was the brush set. The brushes are actually really soft. I love that they're dual-ended, so if I was to travel with them, you need less brushes. And let's go ahead and get real close and personal. Can you see how dry my skin looks? Yeah, no. I'm not a fan because I've been using this foundation, the Revlon Color Stay. I've used this in several videos. You guys know when I use this, my skin usually looks fantastic. It's not the foundation. It's definitely the powder. So, Ipsy, please do better in 2026. This was a horrible way to end the year. And I'm so sad that I actually pay for this. I kind of wish it was PR, so I wouldn't be so upset about it. But no, I am spending my own hard-earned money on these boxes every month, and that's the kind of crap you give me. Ipsy, I know you can do better because my other boxes were great this year. This one? Absolutely not. Sorry for that little rant, but when you're spending your money on something, you want it to be good, or at least majority of it. The fact that the only thing that I'm actually perfectly happy with is the brushes kind of disappoints me, because I'm fine with just going to Dollar Tree and getting like e.l.f. brushes and Wet n Wild brushes from there for $1.25, because they have them all the time. Or worst case scenario, going to Walmart and getting e.l.f. and Wet n Wild brushes for full price, because they're what? Anywhere from $2 to $6? Yeah, no. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and watching this video, but that was not the greatest box ever. If you like any kind of makeup videos or Ipsy unboxings, I do a bunch over here, so definitely like and subscribe before you leave, and you will honestly get the honesty out of me, as you have seen. But thank you guys again, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.